Smoke here, Tidbits from the trail. Back on the trail again. Beautiful day here in Sedona. And today's tidbit, what started out, I was going to write a poem, and then I started thinking about it, and I ended up writing, what turned into like a pretty long essay article called Understanding, Peace, Love, and Understanding, Discernment. And in it, I address a couple of things. One is, what is discernment? What is consciousness? Two, I talk a little bit about the homelessness situation and some of the things I've learned in Dignity Moves around that. I also mentioned Sacred, which is the not-for-profit I'm involved with that's helping the families of children of sexually abused kids. But I kind of start out the discussion around, this current event, which is the immigration issue and the energy that's going around that. And I've seen a lot of, I think, bad takes on what's happening. And this is not to get into an argument about whether you want more integration or don't want it, but I think the way I lay it out in that article, I kind of look at it as if someone was drowning. I was an Eagle Scout. My sons are Eagle Scouts. If someone was drowning, what we learned is throw, row, go. So in other words, you would always, before you'd ever jump in the water after someone drowning, you would throw something that they could float on. The main reason is they will drown you. A small person could drown a huge man because of the panic that they would be under potentially in a drowning. So you throw first. If you don't have anything to throw, then you would row, which means you take a boat, which you could get to them where they could grab the edge and not pull you in. And the worst scenario, or the last resort, is go. And even when you go, helpful to know, like things like being a wrestler, I would quickly do an arm drag and get behind the drowning person and grab them around their chest and isolate them so they couldn't drown me, and then pull them in. But that would still be quite a feat, and you don't want to do it. So in other words, a drowning person can drown a healthy person very easily. Happens all the time. And that's kind of my analogy as I talk about these different topics, and having consciousness and having discernment of what is the right idea to have in your country, and to permit come into the country. And the idea of the drowning person is, if we let everybody in, the whole country would go under. And I think we've had enough years now of lack of enforcement where, this pendulum had to swing the other way. You may not like the way it's going. There's definitely going to be people that are, harmed and sad about it. And I have sympathy and compassion for that. But it went so far the other way. It's got to go. It's got to close up, and they've got to remove some of these folks. And then we can have a balanced approach. And in my article, I talk about what that might look like and kind of bring consciousness to it. I'd love it if you take a look and see if you have thoughts, ideas, disagreement. It's fine. As I say at the end, the purpose of debate is progress, not victory. So anyway, I hope it's useful, constructive. I think one of my main points in that is the scripture and looking at kind of broadly the teachings of the church and other religions, and certainly I think it's a misinterpretation to interpret Jesus's teachings that by loving your neighbor and by loving your enemy, that you allow them into your home. That's not what the teaching is. It is having discernment. And the other teaching that is a fact is avoid evil, avoid sin, avoid ignorance. So you don't really want to open your house up to someone who's on a rampage murdering people. Not that all the immigrants are, that's not what I'm saying, but my analogy. And I lay it out in some detail because I think it's an important, nuanced discussion. And I think some people who blindly are kind of bludgeoning people with church teachings, I think that are incorrect, or are not very aware of the nuance here and the understanding of what that really meant. So that's my take on it. Not looking to have a big fight with anybody, but I'm also not afraid. So hope you had a great day. Tidbits from the trail. Thanks.